Um, hmm. Danny is more mellow, and John was more bombastic. So it's a different chemistry.
That's one of my favorite words.
Bombastic.
Bombastic.
Yeah, different chemistry.
Sorry, I'm like half-mast right now.
What? It's weird because the chemistry changed, right? So like, when it was with John, John was the fool, I was the straight man. Whereas now, Dan's more the straight man, and I'm more the fool. So it's very weird how that kind of goes about. Anyway, thank you. That's cool, man. No, I had like a core group of friends, like 4 friends that I always hung out with when I was like really young, and we just kind of grew up together. So we developed our own art style. I actually had like phases of groups. So like I had like the like I'm really young phase of friends that was in the I went to school with and stuff, and then I had like the internet friends that like I'm still friends with, like Ross. Ross was an early internet friend, very early. And I just kind of stuck with them, because I don't know. I love my family, particularly my close family, like my parents and my brother and stuff. But like my like cousins and aunts and grandmas and stuff, like I wasn't super close with them because I didn't really relate with them. So my friends were kind of like my family, and I always really like put them first before everything. And sometimes that caused problems, but for the most part, it's paid off in the end because I have a lot of really good friends, like really close friends. So I was a very irresponsible kid, and now I'm much more responsible. And a lot of those changes have been recent, like just learning more about what it means to like, take charge and like. I don't know.
Kind of hard to take shit seriously with this going on the screen.
Yeah. No, I guess the biggest change is like when I was a kid, I was such a I was like nomadic and like whatever, I'll do whatever I want, I'll go wherever I want, wherever. But now it's more like, all right, I really gotta see what's best for everybody and that kind of thing. So that's the biggest change, I think. It was very difficult, not like work-wise, because I mean, talk over video games, like mentally, because it was always kind of seen as a side project, and slowly it was becoming not a side project, and then now it seems like my cartoons are my side project, and Game Grumps is my full time, which is mostly true, but I think that was the hardest, just coming to terms with like what it was, and realizing like it needs to be taken a little more seriously, but still keeping it fun, because that's the biggest thing, right? Like growing up, I was like, man, I'm gonna be rich and famous, and I'm gonna do this and that, but I'm never gonna compromise my ideals. That's a very smart kid. So when you get to that point, it's hard. You kind of forget that you said all that, and then it just kind of overwhelms you, and you realize you are kind of taking it in like this really not cool direction, and you just have to like stop yourself and be like, what is it that I really want out of this situation? Like, how do I want people to perceive this? How do I want the people that are involved to be involved and take their satisfaction out of? And that was absolutely the hardest thing, and it's still the hardest thing, because you see it all the time with like Nintendo and like companies like that, where it's like they have like huge like profits and all this shit to worry about, and then people are like, why don't they just make a Zelda like this? And it's like, well, because there's a lot on the line, it's hard for a company to just take a huge risk like that. And you start to get into that mode, and it definitely creeps up on you, and you just have to keep reminding yourself like what you believe in, and even if a company or like a project that you're working on fails, at least you have the satisfaction of knowing that like you stuck to what you believed in,